if they do that, they're going to be very, 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 very tough to beat.
Wilson! Oh! And we are tied!
Let's go! Call them Bryce Beall.
And I don't ever let them forget where we come from.
Getting those phones out. Report me acting ignorant.
Deyon Kris got his way through, and he may go! Kris is in! Houston leads out of nowhere!
Seventh heaven for Houston. The Cougars advance to their seventh Final Four.
Go Coogs! Let's go! It's so good! The dream remains alive for the Houston Cougars!
Dang, I was so perfect. I was hype. I got the intro, but I forgot to unmic. But welcome in to Let's Rage Coogs, presented by the Saxenian Family. We're here for Let's Rage Coogs After Dark. It is 1:34 in the morning, Central Time Zone, Houston time, but we don't care because the Houston Cougars just pulled off a crazy comeback. They scored 17 unanswered points. They were trailing 24-10 with 6:05 left in the fourth quarter. Then they scored a touchdown. Stephon Johnson, Connor Wegman, the connection. They got to stop. Then Connor Wegman again found his tight end and Tanner Koziol. Tied game. Then, kind of went back and forth for a little bit. The defense did a hell of a job those last 6 minutes and in overtime, getting the block. The special teams, 2 blocked field goals in this game, including the potential walk-off field goal that Oregon State tried to do as time expired. And then in overtime, the defense comes up with a stop, forces the turnover on downs, and Houston is able to take care of business. Shout out Slade Nagel. He cooked with that third down play call.
Yeah.
Everybody thought they were going to just run down the middle with Dean Connors. They faked it, and lo and behold, they got a little nice catch, and they got it within the 5-yard line, and Houston was able to walk off with their kick of their own, Ethan Sanchez being stellar, and Houston is 4-0. Now we can say it, 4-0 versus 4-0. Houston versus Texas Tech next week, TD-ECU Stadium, 6 p.m. kickoff. Get your tickets. It's going to be a good one. How are y'all doing? 1 in the morning.
I'm great, man. We're here talking about a Cougs come from behind win. You might have to splice in something new into the intro of a football come from behind victory to add to the mix.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a comeback.
Yeah,
as my brother Dayon said before we started, that was a gritty win, another culture win, and you just gotta have to. This team, they don't die. They don't give up. They believe. I think that's safe to say. They believe in themselves. They believe in their coach. They believe in their defense. They believe in Connor. They believe there's enough time left in the game. They're going to find a way to get the W. And they did it tonight, whatever.
This morning.
Yeah. I think that was a cultural shifting win for the program. I think just the grit that they showed to not give up, the defense staying in it, giving up a couple first downs, and then eventually getting a stop. But early on, watching that game, I promise I never felt like we were going to lose, because those 2 big plays that we left out there with Stephon Johnson dropped a touchdown pass early, then Kobe Young dropped a long touchdown pass, would have been a big play. That's 2 big plays. One of them could have put points on the board. One of them would have extended one of those drives and broke out all those 3 and outs we were having. And so then when we start having those 3 and outs, I still felt like our defense was still going to keep us in there and get the stop when we needed, even when we were down 2 scores. And so I think that win with there was it was a big win. Easily could have just laid down and folded and just gave up another big run. But the grit they showed, I mean, Carlos Allen's going to play on Sundays. I mean, that he a monster. He's a beast. I'm just looking. I think he's leading the team in tackles, but that was a gritty win. Connor stepping up big when we needed 2 big key drives, making those throws. Amari Thomas, he the number 1 receiver.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
He's the number 1. It's clear. Hey, he nice. He nice. Big plays. I mean, that was a good win, man. Good win.
Amari Thomas. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna just say that. I mean, Coach Fritz can really succeed. Like, hey, play by play. I mean, I remember when they punted after going 3 and out, still down 2 scores. Defense then got to stop, and so Coach Fritz just do your job. Everything they're preaching there, it came into fruition on the first true road game of the season. This was a good test to win.
Yeah, that's a great point, Dayon. 11 minutes left in the game in the fourth quarter. Houston, they were in a 4th and 2, deep in their own territory, and
Hmm.
like you mentioned, Woody Fritz didn't waver. He had confidence in his defense, and that unit had his back. They showed why he has that confidence in him, and then Houston, the rest is history. They were able to capitalize from the stop, and like I said at the beginning of the show, score 17 unanswered points to walk away with a victory from Corvallis. Looking at the stats, like you mentioned, Amari Thomas, my God, he looked like wide receiver one there. 6 catches, 104 yards. And he was really a spark for this Houston offense in that rally. He really gave Houston a lot of big plays on that first touchdown drive in the fourth quarter. And of course, another one of
Hmm.
a solid, really go-to target in the receiving game. He had six
Yes.
for 86 yards. Stephon Johnson had that big play for the touchdown, 2 catches, 44 yards. Dean Connors not the best game when it comes to just if you look at his raw stat number wise, 17 carries, 53 yards. And Connor Wegman, he struggled. He struggled for 3 quarters of this game, and he had a couple of missed throws. Um, his receivers dropped a few of his passes, but when it mattered in the fourth quarter, he was able to flip the switch, and really the offense as a whole was able to flip the switch. And Kris, down, we were talking about this in our group chat, and we even talked about it a little off air before we hopped on. But it seems like this Houston offense is at its best when it's up tempo and they're spread out and they are just moving fast, 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 and that's where we saw the success. Week 2 against Rice, we saw it a lot against Colorado. It seemed like they were moving up tempo, and today it seemed like for those 3 quarters, especially in the first and third quarters, the offense was stuck in mud. And in the fourth quarter, the switch just flipped, and the big reason for it is because they were playing with that much tempo.
Not, I mean, it's not really that. I think we were just able to get first downs because when you don't get a first down, you can't go up tempo. And so we was just going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, which is hard to do tempo when you don't get the first down. So I think that was really the difference, just actually getting that first down, then being able to get into a rhythm with the offense.
Yeah, they struggle getting a rhythm at times, and the offensive line is still banged up. Left tackle playing on 1 foot, basically. It's hard for him to plant and be solid base protection, so they had to speed up and get the pass out quicker. So that helped. So I mean, we saw down the stretch what a good staff, what adjustments look like. Good,
Yeah.
coaching staff making the right adjustments down the stretch just to go to what worked. Speed up the offense, get into a rhythm for everybody. The O line, corner, the
I mean,
receivers.
he got in a real good rhythm.
It
Started
was
seeing the
it was
field real
great to
good.
see. Yeah, so it was good overall that everybody, because the TV crew said the third quarter the Cougs had 5 yards total. The
Mm,
stats said 7 yards. I mean, it wasn't
it
double
was
digits in the
terrible,
third quarter. So it was
terrible.
poor. But then that fourth quarter down the stretch played fast, and I love Cozio over the middle and any slant routes, middle routes with a tight end against a safety or linebacker. I like his chances catching the ball, making the plays. That was a good adjustment. I mean, it was just good to see a
Online
comeback
did
win. Oregon State
step up.
was winless. Their offensive line was healthy, so it's probably the best they played up front thus far this season. But the Cougs still found a way to win. And
Hmm.
that's the bottom line. Rather than being on this show talking about Couging it as a negative,
Yeah.
they found a way to get this win to improve to 4-0 and set up that 4-0 matchup next Saturday against Texas Tech inside TDECU.
In Connors, we trust. In Connors, we trust. Give credit to Wegman because for I think heading into the fourth quarter, he had 99 passing yards.
Yeah, it
Was
wasn't
that
100.
great
Yeah.
team? And obviously thrown the interception, and that interception was one of he missed a lot of throws. He overthrew it early in the first quarter on the second drive of the game. But to be able to put it in the rearview mirror, and that's again going to what Dayon said really a culture shifting win for the program that this was, because they had to find within themselves just the tenacity to stick with it. And Chris, to your point that you said earlier about this team has confidence not only in themselves but the coaching staff, and they went out, they got it. This was a blue collar win for the Houston Cougars football team.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think Connor, what I don't want to say he once he settled in because he did miss a few throws, but then a couple of drops. It's really more or less the whole offense from drops and Connor miss. It wasn't in sync. But to be able to keep it together and then make the plays when they counted, when you got to have it to really get the win. I mean, it just speaks volumes. I think just a couple of those plays earlier that I mentioned, that Stephon dropped that touchdown pass and Kobe Young dropped that would have been an explosive play, really hurt. But then it's the two carries that Stacey Sneed had was big carries.
Mm-hmm.
Just every little play that they can look back to on film and see how crucial it was to make the plays when they count and when they're in front of you. I think can only take us and prepare us for next week. I don't think the lights will be too bright. Connor really showed that he can make the big throws, and now that he can read coverage, he can precision thrower. He showed me a lot tonight too, and so I'm excited that next week. I think the confidence is going to be high. I want to see us to be able to sustain drives and be able to, if we have to win a shootout, I think we're building that confidence to know that we can throw it and be able to score if we really need to, or if we need to slow it down like it was tonight, we could gut it out and win it any type of way.
DJ Butler had a couple of good runs too early in the game.
He did. Yep.
Yeah, different guys stepped up down the stretch, fourth quarter and overtime, and the defense, the third and one and fourth and one in overtime, get that stop up the middle. And Oregon State kicking game was so helter-skelter that coach had no confidence in his kicking game to even attempt the field goal to go ahead in overtime, which says a lot right there for Oregon State, and there's a reason why they're winless. But I think all of us, and probably some of the Oregon State fans, if not the players will never say this, but when the Cougs tied it up, and then when it got in overtime, you could kind of sense the Cougs going to win this game. Oregon State's like, man, we had our chance. Kick was blocked. Now we're going to overtime. Damn. Cougs found a way to win, and you got to say it on the flip side, Oregon State found a way to lose.
Man, when we blocked that kick, I was thinking, football guys, just please bless us. Like I could just tell, like he finna miss this. Something is good is finna happen. I just felt it, and then they just blocked the kick because I could tell how scared he was. He never kicked a field goal at that level. Man, I knew something good was gonna happen. And then we got the block, and then they didn't score. We got the stop. I mean, that's a great win. I'm very proud for that team to be able to get that type of win because that's what in Pots Number Jammer we talked about Houston fans are scarred for what we coming into the game called a letdown win because we think we're going to have a big game. We didn't have a letdown. We didn't let down. You know what I'm saying? We stood up in the midst of pressure, down 24-10, fourth quarter, came all the way back, went to OT, and we won it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a big win. And I'm looking forward to next week because they easily could have lost and it'd been the same thing for Houston. Oh, lost to one, they think. And so nah,
that was what I was afraid of.
It's different. Nah, yeah, I know it. You felt it. Nah, it's different now. That's the type of win it was now because now that win you win next week. Like now they really believe, and so I seen it. I see the vision. I see what Coach Fritz is doing, and I like the team. Agreed. Carlos Allen is a beast. He a beast. He a beast. And Connor, fourth quarter, nothing but dots, right there on the money. Boom, boom, boom. Precision passing to Stephon Johnson, right on the money. And so like he never looked like, man, just give me the ball back. And he was confident, and they was able to make the plays. Because you go 3 and out, 3 and out. All of it wasn't his fault. It's just different things from O-line, different things. But when they put it together, we started chipping over there on that side with Connor. That's why he didn't have a big running game, but he was able to get some good pass protection plays and some solid runs. I think it was a well-rounded game from him too, as running back, just showing his versatility because it was times we had him there for pass protection, and he helped out, chipped out, and we was able to get that extra time. And so this was a good win. I'm really looking forward to next week now. But that type of win from Houston fans, they're used to dropping those type of games and then not being undefeated against in that following game. But this was the one. I think we're ready.
And Houston does not still sell $1 tickets.
Oh,
And that won't be an issue at all for next Saturday. Should be a sellout. Majority should be Coug fans. There will be plenty of Tech fans there as well, and that's expected. That's fine. I'm looking forward to the matchup. And if you ask me right now, I'd probably still, I love my school, I'd pick Tech to win the game. But I'm looking forward to the matchup. And I'm looking forward to the Cougs being third year in the Big 12, not 30 years into the Big 12, like Texas Tech. And what have they done in 30 years in the Big 12? I feel safe in saying this, fellas. Cougs get to 30 years in the Big 12, they're going to have some championships on the football side by year 30, okay? Unlike some people. But it's about this come from behind win. That's what this win was about. This team believing and not giving up and finding a way to get the win. Playing poorly, out of sync, not clicking, whatever cliche you want to say. Down the stretch, I hope some of the media who's at the game asked Connor, asked the team players, anybody, what changed? What was different? What was the message with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter to get their answer? And Connor just said, "Hey, I put the bad stuff behind me, and I said, give me the ball, we're gonna win this game." And that's what we went ahead and did. That kind of belief is right there.
I gotta disagree with you, Chris. I like us against Tech. I watched Tech this year. I watched their games. They got a backup. Well, their quarterback, both of their quarterbacks are good, but their starting quarterback got hurt last game. And so Will Hammond, who's been playing, I'm sure he'll be ready. But I like how we match up.
I'm looking forward to it. And I think this is a Red Raider fan watching, commenting. Thank you for participating in the Let's Rage Coug show. Thank you. Appreciate you. Come again. Don't be a stranger. Because we do this after every game. So someone told you about this show. So whoever that was, thank you very much. And spread the word about it. And we'll be doing this again after the game next Saturday. You know, what is it, Andy? Let's Rage Cougs, the original post-game show.
After each and every single Houston Cougars men's basketball and football game. Let's take this moment to shout out our sponsors for supporting Let's Rage Cougs, beginning with Steve Saxenian. This is Let's Rage Cougs presented by the Saxenian Family. Has been here since day one, going back to the 2023 football season. Of course, we can't say thank you, or this isn't Let's Rage Cougs without saying thank you to Star Pizza with 3 locations throughout the Houston area. Star Pizza is your go-to stop before or after the game. In this case, check them out for lunchtime so you can celebrate this Houston Cougars victory and tell them you heard about them on Let's Rage Cougs. And like you mentioned, Chris, we'll be right back next week talking about everything that happens between Houston and Texas Tech, a battle of 2 undefeated 4-0 teams. And really, we mentioned this when Houston first joined the Big 12, because obviously when the announcement got made, there was a lot of buzz just in terms of, a lot of alums. They were ready, they were eager because they wanted to play Texas, but obviously that was going to be limited, only the one season that Houston and UT overlap. And we always ask the question, who could be that rival for Houston? And we've gone on record in the past where we feel like out of all the teams in Texas, probably Texas Tech is the closest to actually having a true rivalry feel, just in terms of how many times UH and Tech have played when UH was in the American Athletic Conference. Now, granted, in those recent meetings, they haven't gone Houston's way. Texas Tech has gone out and come out victorious in 2018. 2021, and the last time they played in 2024, I believe, or 23. I can't remember if that was Holgerson or Fritz's first year. But that being said, it's going to be at TDCU Stadium. It's the first time that Tech has had to play at TDECU Stadium since 2018. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be rocking. It's going to be jam-packed. And at the end of the day, bring it on, because this Houston team isn't going to duck the smoke for no one. They're ready. They're going to be eager for that challenge, and they're going to step up to the plate, and they're going to be rocking their Houston blue jerseys, their icy blue jerseys too.
And salute to the fans for watching almost 2:00 in the morning Central Time on this show, watching us on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. So appreciate you. And we're gonna do it every game, basketball season as well, and we'll see you in basketball season too, my man. So keep bringing the energy. No worries here.
January 6th. Circle it.
We'll see you for that as well. No worries whatsoever. The original post-game show here, and you talk about one side of subscribers, the other side you add up all the viewers, all these platforms. We're well up to 25,000 people, I'm sure, on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So please. But anyway, salute to everybody for staying up watching us. I had friends. I can do a post-game show. Yeah, of course. That's what we do after every game. 9:30 starts. Doesn't matter. We're going to do a Let's Rage Coogs show. I teased it on Thursday's Takeover. I know you guys did it in a preview show. This is what we do. Let's Rage Coogs. And we bring in all the haters. And that's good because y'all know about them somehow. Because I don't think we go on other shows and, say, hey, Let's Rage Coogs on Kansas or Texas Tech or Baylor or TCU. But somehow y'all know about us. But thank you. And yet you're still commenting. Appreciate you, my man.
A lot of people are asking about Burnett. He didn't get any carries. He was active, if I'm correct. He got no carries tonight. Obviously, he was active. But I mean, like we mentioned, Stacey Sneed, Dean Connors, DJ Butler, they look good in spurts when they were out there and they did their thing. Like, it's a group that has a lot of depth.
I think DJ he's probably moved up the depth chart ahead of him. So, hey, this staff plays guys who earned it in practice. Mm-hmm. And that's where it should be.
This is it's so great to see all the comments here at 1:55 in the morning. But this isn't even the latest show that we've ever done, by the way. There was what was it last year when men's basketball played in Vegas? I think it was when they played
game started like at 10:30, something like that.
One of those games. I think we went all the way to 3 in the morning. So
something like that. Yeah,
it probably won't beat that one, but we'll see. Corey Miller says DJ was impressive, was close to breaking 2 to 3 runs. That's the other point there. When you look at the rushing numbers for Houston, and nothing eye-popping, like they rushed 30 times for 82 yards. But there were several plays that they were one block away or one broken tackle away from breaking and becoming more yards. And that's something that Coach Willie Fritz mentioned when he got interviewed. I believe it was heading into the fourth quarter about what he thought about his offense. That's a great point. There were a couple of missed tackles or one block away from turning those 3-yard, 2-yard runs into 5 even greater runs, and that's something that they could clean up and hopefully again as they get into deeper in Big 12 conference play is something that we start to see more consistently, and at the end of the day Houston just becomes more of a well-rounded offense or more consistent offense because that's something that we've seen in stretches even going back to Rice. They got the key block on Dean Connors' big run to end the half, and that propelled them into the 28 points that they scored in the second half in that game. So that's something that again they're close. They're just not there yet. They're not doing it consistently enough. But that's something to look for, and it's a great point by Corey Miller.
Yeah, this team is still at that point where you see that the little things mean a lot to this team. They're close. Some reason they're out of rhythm, out of sync is, some of the penalties were out of character tonight. A missed block here, drop passes there, almost breaking a tackle for a long run, just little things, but you saw how this offense looks midway through the fourth quarter when everything is clicking and those little things are going right and going away for the Cougs. So this team will get better. We expect this team to get better as this season progresses. And this team, Dayon's one of the few people, but there's not many people who, before the season, would have said Houston would be 4-0 after its first 4 games. This team is ahead of schedule in terms of, well, in terms of Coach Fritz, his second year at every program, he's turned around and started winning. But you are seeing the foundation being laid for future success for Houston Cougars football under Willie Fritz.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you definitely, yeah. And I think I'm really looking forward to next week. I think that the message will be received, everybody be more locked in, and really just be like Andy said, and be looking at to being just more consistent on the offensive end. I think that's what they're missing when they kind of can put it together and be consistent. And maybe it's one block here or there, or just everybody doing their assignment, doing their 11 man, like Coach Fritz said. I think it was at the half. Then the team can be consistent and make some of those big plays and continue to really just to push the ball, move the chains, first downs. We got to get first downs. We can't keep going 3 and out because then we can't get into tempo, and then offense or kind of doesn't even get in the rhythm. But the way he was able to see the ball, see the field downfield, down the second half, throwing dots. And so I'm excited. And I like us against Tech. Our defense, although we gave up a couple big drives when they was running the ball, it wasn't like they was just gassing us. They didn't go for like 250 plus. So it was like we was able to get stops here and there. So I'm really not concerned if we'll be able to hold up against Tech up front. Carlos Allen, he a dog. And I think we just can't have these little drops where it's 3 and out, especially if we're not stopping teams. And
Yeah.
I think we can do that. I think we could do that because we was able to get some pressure on Murphy down the stretch, and my DB has made a couple plays. And so I want to see. To be better competition next week. But this was our first road game. I expected this to be tough out of in Oregon State. Their students were back, so it seemed like it was a good crowd. First road to go all the way to Oregon, late game like this on a Friday. Then come back home against Tech, undefeated, ranked team, gonna be underdogs. I think we're gonna be highly motivated, and I think we're gonna look to make a statement.
But as you said, Carlos Allen, 13 total tackles, 4 solo. Sione Fotu, 15 total tackles, 7 solo. But I want to say this. Coaches can say it, can tell the players, guys, one game at a time. Let's focus on Oregon State. Don't look ahead to next Saturday. Coaches say that all the time. But we all know the players are human too. The players have friends who are on social media and get in their ear. Hey, you guys know y'all got Tech next week. Going to be on ESPN, 6 o'clock prime time. So I'm sure, even if it's just a little bit, the players were looking ahead, looking past Oregon State and looking ahead to next week. They can say all the right things. No. But in that first quarter, how they came out flat on both sides of the ball.
See, Chris, I get it. Chris, let me break it down to you, Chris. So, of course, naturally, humanly, like they're thinking about looking forward. Like, hey, we win this, we're looking forward to it. But when they step on the field in their preparation, they're not looking forward and not studying, not preparing in the sense of looking forward. Like, they are looking forward and thinking about it, but they're prepared in the game and not thinking about it in the game. You know what I'm saying? Early the game is just kind of going how it's going, and not necessarily that they're looking forward in a sense.
And I would say in this game in particular, some of the, like you mentioned, Dayon, in terms of this being their first true road game of the season, having to travel, and they flew into Eugene, they bust up to Corvallis today whenever they were, about a 45-minute drive. Like, that's just a little change in routine. Weather was supposed to be in the 50s. And not granted, it was far from perfect. Especially again that third quarter, the first quarter, the offense really kind of seemed stuck in the mud at times. And that's a great point that you mentioned about the defense, Dayon. I think the frustrating part in that third quarter, and some of it is just because they were on the field so much in that third quarter because Houston kept going 3-and-out. But you're right. There weren't really any gash runs. It was more like jabs. They kept giving up 5-yard rush, 6-yard
Yep.
rushes. But today they did a great job of bending but not breaking. They held Oregon State to a few field goals. They held them. They didn't let them score multiple touchdowns. And when Houston's offense finally got a spark and got going, and they needed a big stop, they got it done. And that in particular is what we find the most optimistic, and definitely something that we're really focusing on, because in previous years, that's something that, this would be a game that maybe Houston fell flat and wouldn't be able to overcome. So that's definitely something when we're talking about program defining in terms of what Willie Fritz and that coaching staff is implementing. That's what we're kind of hanging the hat on, just in terms of they found the way to win. And at the end of the day, if you followed us for the past
Is it
couple of seasons when it comes to
better to
basketball, as we
learn
tell
from a
them,
win
snaps
than
and
a
success.
loss?
Exactly. And anytime they'll critique, the first thing he'll say is like, well, we won the game. And, obviously, again, it's not perfect. There's a lot of stuff that they have to clean up, but they found a way to win. And at the end of the day, they're 4-0. And now they turn their attention to Texas Tech. I did want to bring up this question because we are not the players. We can talk about stuff like this. But what would a win over Texas Tech mean for Houston in the season going forward?
In terms of ranking?
This is in terms of ranking, but I would say just in terms of the season. I think obviously if Houston beats Texas Tech, they're going to be a top 25 ranked team. I would think, although the AP quarters might be a little stingy. They still haven't given Houston any points, but I think if they beat Tech, they most definitely would get in the top 25. But I would say more season-wide, if they are able to defeat Tech, what is that going to do for their season?
I mean, they'll be 5-0 and thinking, why not us this year? We could be this year's Arizona State. That kind of thing. That kind of thinking.
Yeah, I think it give the team more confidence and just who they are and what they can do. There's more hope that they can reach their goals, and kind of like Kris said, why not us? Let's go on the run. I mean, we won 5. Let's go to 6. Let's go to 7. Let's go 1-0 each week. And ultimately, we do that. We'll be where we want to be. And I think that will just continue. And it's a favorable schedule. I mean, just looking at it, it is a favorable schedule. So you can go take care of next week, get that win. And then after that, you got an Oklahoma State team who just fired their coach. And so that should be another win that they can be had. But I think just 1 week at a time. Let's go 1-0. And I think it'll start at Tech. I mean, just think about, I think that'll be another big recruiting weekend for us. I mean, just think we're coming right there. I mean, that's big. Texas Tech is recruiting well. So recruiting wise, we get that win at home with some of the big recruits we got coming in. Number 1 running back in the nation right here in Houston. I'm pretty sure he might be. I don't know where he's at if he's there, but I'm sure he'll be watching. I know we recruiting him, and so, hey man, it'll be big for the school. It'll be big for the staff. It'll be really big for the season.
And that's this year we've already seen improvement this year.
I mean, they've already matched their win total.
Yeah. I mean, this team's going to a bowl. Okay.
Yeah. Which is something they haven't done in three seasons.
So at minimum, that is an accomplishment already in year 2. And then it'll be the question is, how good a bowl is this team going to go to? That was not the conversation.
We need a big crowd, man.
Yes.
Like we got to have a big crowd. Like we got to have like that type of crowd. I was there in Louisville. I mean, we need that type of crowd. We need that. We get that type of crowd.
Saturday,
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Traffic should not be a problem. Should not be an excuse. It should not be hot. It's too hot. It's too humid. All these reasons / excuses some folks give to not go to the games. You have a named opponent. I know some alums don't go see us play. They go see the other team play. So, okay, well, you got a team in Texas Tech old rival from the Southwest Conference days, so that's not an excuse. Get your tickets, be
And
at
it
the
was,
game.
yeah, it was a good ticket. I mean, show out when we was at NRG last time. And so, I mean, I expect a big crowd. I expect to sell out. We just got to have it though. We need to let a lot of students in. Like, yeah,
You know, it's a Houston Blue game as well.
yeah.
All those things are positives. They're coming off a win, and there
They're
probably
undefeated.
were some Cougs because of the late start and how the game was going through midway through the fourth quarter, who turned it off, went to sleep.
In our sleep.
You know, and will wake up in the morning. Wait, we won this game? Yeah, Cougs found a way to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
If you're one of those, get your tickets and be at the stadium next Saturday. But yeah, that Louisville crowd was something.
Or something. We got to have it, man. It'd be very big. This game right here, in this upcoming game against Tech. I mean, you want how big? Like this man. It's a big game. It's a big game in many aspects. It could be a big win in many aspects. Although it's just, I mean, our next game and it's early in the season, a lot of season left. I'm just meaning just the different aspects of how it can be momentum carrying forward in a lot of different ways.
It's funny in the comment section they're arguing about who's better, Oregon State or Rice. I think Oregon State is by far better. I think they're more talented than Rice.
Yeah, no question.
And that's a great point. Brought up by Crabtree too. This is like you mentioned, Dayon. This is the first home game where they had the
First all
student section
season.
and they had a lot of energy.
Yep.
And you could see it. Now, obviously, again, they're far from perfect. And when you look at the schedule and the four opponents that Houston has beat, right, they're not, a full, you're not playing Alabama, Georgia back to back to back, but still you're playing your schedule and
I mean, you just think
find a
about
way to win.
all the
You win.
championship teams that you've seen. They've had wins like that, to where you'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, they just barely escaped by against
Well, look at Texas
anybody.
and how they beat Sam Houston.
Well, I mean, let's be real. If the whole vibe of this show would be different if the Cougs lost this game. Rice is 3-1, by the way, people. Rice is 3-1. Best start in like 8 years. But it's much better to find a way to win rather than find a way to lose. Okay, so as Dayon said, it's much better. I'd rather learn lessons after a win than learn lessons after a loss. The Cougs have things to improve on. Yeah, they sure do. Tighten up some things on offense. Tighten up some things on the defense. And they're still 4-0. Okay, yeah. So that's
the thing. They're improving.
They're improving.
There's not a period next to them. There's a comma.
If the comma, there you go, Kelvin Sampson.
There we go.
There it is.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Which is good, right? You don't want your football team to peak week 3, week 4. You want them to peak, hopefully, week 12, heading into the conference championship game and beyond.
And I want to say this to the players, and it sounds like a slight, but we're also saying the value of coaching, executing the play calling, and also instilling in the players, don't give up. If there's time left in this game, we have a chance to win. That mentality, that mindset, the players have, you have to have that internally as players, but your coaches give it to you as well. So this team is different. As Dayon said, this team is different. This team is believing in themselves
and
to
discipline.
Win.
And the discipline you got to have in those big moments to focus on your assignment, especially in football. Everybody has an assignment. And so in those big key situations, when you got to have it, you got to have the stop. You got to have the score. You got to have the first down. You got to have to stop them from getting the first down. You got to get this block on the extra point, on all these little intricate things.
Little things matter.
Play in, play out. Like this is a huge win in a sense when you go to tape and you get to see on the plays that matter how we did our assignment and we got the result that we needed when we need those drives. get the blocks, give him counter time. Every time he got pressure a little bit, stepped up in the pocket, made the throw. And so it's the confidence that this builds that like 100%. They know Connor can, if we need a game in the drive, he can do it. And confidence in the OC, call up the right place. Yeah, that last, there's just so many different things. How this album, I was proud. Why I didn't feel like we were gonna lose because they wasn't just gashing us with runs. They were just getting 3 or 4 yards, get a short third down, and get it. And so once we won an early down, make them have a third and long, it was favorable in our matchup. And once we was able to do that, and we got to stop, offense got down and scored. So I think just keep chipping away at it, man. It's definitely a new feel. Coach Fritz and staff was doing a damn good job.
And Dan, would you say that a reason for you, not the only reason, but a reason for your confidence in this team is the staff?
Yeah, for sure.
See, that's part of this program now. You got people in charge who have instilled hope that you can win games where you're not playing your best. It's been a while since that was the case for this football program. Let's keep it a buck. Because I know how I felt about the other staff. You know, got to a point where if it came down to two coaches, I'd take the other coach all the time. That's no longer the case with Willie Fritz in charge of the Cougars.
Yeah, and you just see, just not to compare because they're just doing a great job, and just the coach staff and when he was putting it away, like, hey, defense, come on, let's get this stop, let's get it. They get the stop off and score. You see, how they encourage each other, and then they put the camera on Tanner, and he with the tight end with the tell the defense, come on, one more stop,
Yeah.
we got you. They got
third and 7, third and 6.
I mean, those things build confidence on both sides, and the whole camaraderie, team effort. Everyone is really believe like, man, we get that stop, offense gonna score. And so, man, I'm looking forward to next week. You know, I'm ready. I mean, Texas coming off a bye, so hopefully, I'm sure some of the guys will be rested up a little bit, and really looking forward to the game.
And, you know, trailing Oklahoma State, yeah, they were winless. They lost to Tech. They lost to Oregon. Oregon State was playing in front of their fans. They were playing fired up because they had been embarrassed by Oregon. So they were amped up for this game too. So they wanted to be the team to hand Houston their first loss. So we need to respect the opponent. Okay, I'm sounding like Kelvin Sampson now. It's hard to win a game. All right, the problem, and I love my school, but folks, we're trying to build to win championships. Let's not disrespect the opposition when we haven't won squat. Okay, we're not Georgia, we're not Texas, we're not Alabama, we're not sitting high on the hill looking down. Everybody, yeah, well, this team sucks. This team ain't anything. Folks, we're trying to win conference championships and then national championships. Who are we to dump on Oregon State? Okay, this was a road win, a come from behind road win. A win is a win, period. Take the win, learn from it, get better, get ready for Tech.
Real quickly, one thing that I want to ask you guys about, now this happened very early in the game, on the second quarter, Houston's first scoring drive. 8 plays, if I'm not mistaken, from inside the 1-yard line, and penalties, weren't able to punch it in, and ultimately they had to settle for a field goal. But what are your guys' thoughts on that? And just that is where they look really, really sloppy early. Both when it came just to the pre-snap penalties. I mean, my God, I don't think I've ever seen that many penalties called on one drive, and in particular once they got inside the 5-yard line. But then too, again, being unable to punch it in. It was a lot of themselves shooting themselves in the foot.
I mean, one was on the defense, but then you look at it out of all of that, we still get the right play called, get Stephon Johnson inside with a chance to score.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I said that was one of the big key plays in the game because they took points off the board. All those penalties are a wash if we just make the play that we can make and we put points on the board. So although it's kind of sloppy, I think we got a penalty, they got a penalty, so we didn't end up getting pushed back much. But just that sequence, he makes that play, it's a different game. And so I think just from that point, of course, clean it up. Let's execute, be more efficient in the red zone. But he makes that touchdown pass. He catches that ball that he can catch 8 times out of 10. Then it's a different game. So just execute, make the play.
But, that's an example. Stephon dropped that ball. Connor had, was it the tight end open for a touchdown. He overthrew him. Connor was out of sync for most of the game until down the stretch in the fourth quarter. He turned it around. He got it done. And that's the important thing. The Cougs found a way to win this game. We're going to talk about and pick this and pick that. Well, if they'd have done this. And, I was ready, 12 o'clock or so to come on here and talk about a loss and how it was disappointing to lose in Corvallis. But they found a way to get this win. So now we're talking about a win and being 4-0 and getting ready for 4-0 Texas Tech next Saturday. Don't care about how it was done. I'd rather win ugly than lose playing pretty. So who cares? Win the game and move on. 4-0. I did not pick this team being 4-0. I admit that. I got no problem saying that. I'm glad they're 4-0. Now let's go to 5-0. Let's beat Tech.
Well, I think that we're going to start to wrap things up. Once again, looking at the final stats from the game, the Houston Cougars again improbable comeback. Depending. Maybe they scored 17 unanswered points with 6 minutes left in regulation, and in the overtime, the offense, the defense, really turned it up in those final 6 minutes of regulation, and then in overtime, Connor Wakeman, like I said at the top of the show, finished 20 of 36, passing wise, 270 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. He threw his first interception of the season early in the game.
Andy, real quick, what did he finish?
20 for 36, 270 passing yards.
At one point, he was 9 for 20.
For 90-something yards.
So
I think that was in the fourth quarter.
11 for his last 16.
For about 160 yards, probably 180 yards.
So, yeah.
And 2 touchdowns.
In roughly the last 6 minutes and change.
6 minutes in that drive in overtime. So, again, goes to the phenomenal turnaround that Wakeman and the offense had. Mari Thomas led Houston in receiving, 6 catches, 104 yards. Dean Connors led them in rushing with 53 rushing yards off of the 17 carries. And again, the final score, Houston 27, Oregon State 24. Once again, we'd like to say thank you to today's sponsors, tonight's sponsors, this morning's sponsors. Whenever you may be listening, however you may be listening, this is Let's Rage Coogs, presented by the Saxenian Family. Big thank you to Mr. Steve Saxenian for being the primary sponsor of not only this edition of Let's Rage Coogs, but each and every single one, including the one next week. We'll be right back, hopefully around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and we'll be discussing a icy win between Houston and Texas Tech, and we'll have Bryce Beall back to join us in the crew and break everything down between Houston and Texas Tech. Big shout out to Mike and Jennifer Pittman with Star Pizza for being a secondary sponsor of today's edition of Let's Rage Coogs. They have 3 different locations throughout the Houston area. Be sure to visit them online at starpizza.net. to not only see where their locations are, but also see the different specials and menus that they have. They're always having different options, and be sure to stop by Tuesday and Friday for their all-you-can-eat pizza buffet that both Kris and I can attest are top tier, especially if you try out the desserts. We'll be back. We're excited. We're excited to see. At the end of the day, it's 4-0 versus 4-0. Big matchup, Big 12 conference. This is what Houston fans, alumni, they wanted. They were tired of, again, no shade to the American Athletic Conference, but they were tired of playing against the USFs of the world, the ECUs of the world, the even Tulanes of the world. And they had moments with SMU and Cincinnati and UCF, but there's a little different of intensity when we're talking about Texas Tech in your own conference. And for the first time, we can say that both of these programs are heading into the matchup undefeated. And yes,
And we got them
granted,
at home at TDECU on
yeah,
campus.
not at NRG, TDECU Stadium, pack it out, make it a home field advantage. And again, last time, everyone wants to say, "Oh, there's going to be lopsided or Texas Tech is favored," and all the things. Just remember the last time that a big opponent came into town. Granted, Houston didn't win. I think we talked about it earlier. I think that they got robbed on that play going back to the Texas game. But that was a great crowd for Houston, and they almost pulled off the upset in that game. So the crowd needs to be out from the get-go. Like you said, Kris, no excuses. 6 p.m. kickoff time. It's going to be in the 80s, 70s. Hopefully it's dry. There was a cold front that just passed earlier this week, or a cool front. Shoot, it's a 6 o'clock game. You can last 1 hour in the sun. You'll survive, and go out there, support your Cougs, and come on, be early, be loud, and weather your Houston blue.
And let me say a few things before our brother Dayon closes it out. As Andy touched on it, this is I challenge my fellow Coug alums. Andy's being nice about it when he said, and he touched on it, that no shade to the American and some Coug fans, South Florida and other teams in the American. A lot of y'all wanted this. Wanted to be in the Big 12, wanted to be in big-time matchups, big-time opponents at home. Well, we got one on October 4th. So if you have the funds, the means, the time, buy your tickets, get your ass at the stadium. Don't quibble about, I got others. I don't think the Astros making the playoffs.
Mm-mm.
So they're not going to be playing next Saturday.
Texas struggling.
So, folks, if you were one of those people who said all these things in the past about if they were playing a team I know, a team in the state of Texas, well, we got one coming up on October 4th. So be at the stadium, either wear your Houston blue, your Houston red, and cheer on the Cougs. Because battle of undefeated teams, support the Cougs, support our university. But my brothers are going to have a preview of the matchup, correct, on Paul Samajama, right?
Yep.
And that show will be streamed on YouTube and Twitter, and now, because of the new platform we have, also on the Houston Round Ball Review Facebook page. So we're expanding our audience and our reach. And as we do that, that's more opportunities for advertising for you to reach more people as well. So thank you. Shout out to, we just crossed over 500 people, 3 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning. So
Live.
salute to,
that's not counting,
and salute to the Red Raider fan. Be here next Saturday. We have, I got
win or lose.
Win or lose. We're going to talk about the game, win or lose. I got fans from Arizona State looking forward to being on these shows, commenting on these shows. This show is growing. People know who we are.
We had to bring Chance back when we say Arizona State at his alma mater.
Yes. But folks know about the Houston Round Ball Review. Folks know about Let's Rage Cougs. We want to continue and get bigger and better. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for you taking time out of your night/morning for supporting this show and commenting on this show. Go Cougs.
Well said, man. We can't say thank you enough to people who have stood up. It's 2 in the morning. I don't care if you at the bar, you at the crib, you on the couch, or where you at, but you taking time right now to be here, listening to us. Let's rage about the Cougs, and we appreciate it. I mean, sponsors, you're looking to get with us. We can show you the analytics of how many people we've been able to reach. We're steady growing at a really, really good rate, and we all started it with nothing. I mean, and we're looking to continue to grow. The first original post-game show for Houston Athletics, and we've been going. We're going to keep going. So look to partner with us. Email us at. Go ahead, Andy.
No, just to add on, like you mentioned, Chris, we have 500 viewers too. Depending on where you can be watching us too, shoot, you don't have to be a corporation to help sponsor. Just a dollar, any amount really.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's a quarter or a penny, we have 500 people viewing it. It's $1 per person. That will really help us out and to show as well. So anything helps, and shoot, just by watching. And if you can't, we completely understand. Just share, give a like, retweet, comment, any little bit helps.
Tell somebody.
Tell
Tell a
somebody.
friend, tell a foe. Because for all the gloom and doom of people commenting about Oregon State, 500 plus folks tuning in, commenting after the Cougs beat Oregon State. So just imagine what it's going to be in conference play. Win or lose for Let's Rage Cougs.
See you guys this week on Pod Slam Pajama. Be sure to tune in our pregame show. A lot of insight with Kenneth. Great win tonight. Culture shift to win. Coach Fritz and staff. Salute, man. I might try to make the game if I can. I'm really looking forward to it. Definitely gonna be tuned in. Looking forward to Let's Race Cougs. Great win tonight, baby.